lot of it has to do with ego, especially, you're a non-commissioned officer, or you're in charge of a fire team, or you're a platoon commander, or I literally had a colonel who I was doing a recruiting interview with. And, this guy was in charge of a lot of things. And he was in charge of the theater of Afghanistan, and when he walked in, attention on deck, people saluted. Mm-hmm. These days, he's out, retired. There's no attention on deck. There's no salute. There's no yes sir, no sir. There's no hi colonel. There's no acknowledgement. I'm doing an interview. Okay. And so when I'm talking about having a conversation with people about their rank, listen, when you get out, you've got to earn your stripes all over again. Yeah. I think the unique thing for me is that as a sergeant with no college education, just been grinding in the insurance business for the last 20 years, is that I've learned to earn respect, and I'm not expecting a salute, right? People say I'm a leader. I let people call me a leader. I know just to lead by example. But at the end of the day, that same colonel said, the reason why I can't do what you do, this is what he told me, James. He goes, I've never admitted this to a Marine. 25 years as a colonel, I've never admitted this to any Marine. But listen, doing what you do as a business, as an entrepreneur, I'm scared. Scared. Listen, you're used to, bombs, bullets, and bad guys. Scared of what? Scared of people telling me no. So by the way, that's all ego. That's all ego. And for someone to say, I need to humble myself to start from, and by the way, what is he doing today, James? He's driving Uber. He's driving Lyft. Come on, man. You deserve better than that, because you're afraid of a little bit of rejection, and you're growing individually as a person long after. I mean, what would you say to a Marine? What would you say to a soldier who's given up on an obstacle course? That's what you're doing right now mentally. You're giving up on a mental obstacle course of you growing as an individual. And listen, as much as we sucked it up in the military, you need to suck it up again in your transition out the military, because nobody's going to hand you anything. You got to go out there and fight for it. Mm-hmm. And so dealing with that's the worst I deal with in the business world. No, I'll think about it. I need to pass this across my lawyer, my advisory team, my investor. Geez, wow, that's the worst I got to deal with in the business world. Yeah. Versus worrying about IEDs and bullets flying my way and watching your back every night. Mm-hmm. Every day. So I got to deal with this in the business world than dealing with that context any day of the week. And at least here we get paid for it.
Yeah. So what would be some specific roadblocks that you would advise a new business person to be looking out for, and then also some resources that they should be tapping into to help them succeed?
Yeah. Well, we'll start with an easy resource. An easy resource that any transitioning active duty military service member, military family can access. There's just tons of Facebook groups in the marketplace today. Tons of them. Tons of it. Yeah, I mean, you can't. If you just Google veterans group, there's going to be a ton of them. But I also would avoid the people on the veterans group that all they're talking about is pain, all they're talking about is worry, all they're talking about is anxiety. So you got to be careful too when you're inside this group. But there's community you can go out there. I personally, for me, if I want to grow, if I want to think about legacy, if I want to get to the next level of my life, I want to surround myself with people that are like-minded in the same things too as well. Mm-hmm. So number one, getting connected to the right groups online and offline. Number two, being careful and being particular about the conversations I'm having with people. And then number three, having certain people to be as my accountability partner. That you still need a battle buddy. Still need a battle buddy. Another great resource that it's growing up in a lot of cities and states, which is actually headquartered here in Chicago, is Bunker Labs.
Yep. The Bunker's a good one.
Bunker Labs has many different chapters across many different cities and states where people can plug into and to associate with other entrepreneurs wanting to incubate and grow as a business person.
Yeah. Yeah. Another one that I like a lot, and I've done some volunteering with them, is Veterati, helping the veterans when they're coming out and just getting plug in. That's another good app and good resource there for people. So Matt, how would you say that you take your personal values and your belief systems and incorporate that into your business life?
Yeah. I think it's just a simple matter of just jotting down what you love the most about life, what you want to love the most about your life. And for me, I love the camaraderie of the military. I love the esprit de corps. I didn't miss the politics. I love the fact that you can take average and ordinary people to do extraordinary things. I love sports. I love a lot of aspects of my faith life, my relationship with a higher power. I love the fact that I love to earn a lot of money so I can have the best of the freedom that we fought for, to enjoy these things coast to coast, locally, regionally, internationally, nationally. I love the fact of helping people. So I think it's just writing down a bunch of things and then creating that as your company culture. Our company culture, everybody brings their own personality to the table. We do have structure. We do have a bottom line. We do have a team goal. We do have a company goal. We got many people rising up amongst the ranks, whether they be my own little business fire team leader, my business squad leader, my business platoon commanders, et cetera, et cetera. So the reason why I do that, and the reason why we've grown the way we've grown and surrounded ourselves with things that we love to do, is because I don't want to dread coming to the office. I want to get up in the morning, grab a breakfast, morning newspaper, and be fired up heading to the office, instead of saying, "Oh, I don't want to be in an environment I don't want to be in." In fact, James, there's an IBM consultant that came to our office. They're doing some consulting hours. They're doing surveys to build our team. So he took some surveys of how I act, my behavior at home. Another survey, my behavior at the office. Boom, my behavior in recreational activities. And he says, Matt, he comes back with the results of the survey. He says, Matt, I got to ask you something. I've been an IBM consultant for a long time, 20 years now. You love what you do, don't you? I said, why do you say that? It's because based on these surveys, you are the same. And by the way, I've very rarely ever seen this in my entire 20 years of doing this. But you are the same person at home. You're the same person in recreational activities. You're the same person in the office. Mm-hmm. And I'm like, so what does that mean? I said, brother, you got no stress. You've got pressure because you got goals, but you don't have any stress because you don't have to change. So I think creating a company, now, does that mean you have to grow individually and personally develop as a person? Of course. But it's like I have to be a different person at home. I don't have to be a different person at the office. I don't have to be a different person in the boardroom. I don't have to be a different person here on social media. I don't have to be a different person at church. I don't have to be a different person in my leisure activities at the cigar lounge, or having fun with my wife at the salsa spots. I'm the same person, and what a relief that is.
It is. Yeah, totally agree there. So is there something earlier in life that you wish you had done that you did not do, that maybe you kind of look back and say, I wish I'd have done that?
Yeah, lots of them. I think that the one that sticks out to my head is make sure you pick the right wife.
Yeah.
And military guys are horrible at this aspect of the life, because all they think about, worried about, is getting laid, right? And guess what, brother? Sex is a small part of a long-term marriage. My opinion. I could be wrong about this, but getting involved in the wrong relationship, because I'm not using my brain housing group here. And I was, 21, 22 years old when I got married, and then 21, I was 22, 23 when I got divorced. Stupid. All because I did not know how to define what a relationship is and what a relationship should look like. And if you get caught up in the wrong relationship, guys, if you're listening to this podcast right now, it could set you back 10 years. It did to me. I spent my 30s repaying the mistakes of my 20s. Imagine if I didn't make those mistakes in my 20s, how much further I could be in my 30s and 40s, and how much pain and anguish and suffering and financial setbacks and arguments and anxiety and depression could be avoided by making sure you pick the right relationship. So, guys, a relationship is more than sex. And by the way, James, I still run across a bunch of guys that are 50, 60 years old, figuring that out right now too as well. Because they went through 30 years of their life trying to be somebody different, and they get, next thing you know, they're 50, 60 years old. The husband looks at the wife, wife looks at the husband, and you know what they say? Who are you? You're not the same person I met 30 years ago. They get divorced. Your family is out of whack. Finances are out of whack. And financially speaking, you know, the 50-year-old, 60-year-old guys looks like he's 20-year-olds on paper.
Yep.
Setback. So, you know, so pick the right relationship. Listen, the only good thing that came out of those was my children. Right? And thank God Daddy decided to be an entrepreneur, and thank God Daddy decided to live in decent neighborhoods because he became an entrepreneur, that I was able to replace, you know, the financial income of a dual household income, and I was able to do a lot of things as a single father. I'm married now, and I'm married to the right wife. My mentor took that on a second date with his now wife, and there's a lot of questions there that you need to ask somebody, because you want to ask the tough questions now, man. You don't want to find a 5 years into marriage because you're too afraid to ask a question. How do you feel about this, and how do you feel about that? And next thing you know, you don't agree with them. But guess what? You're stuck now.
Yep. So when you're transitioning out of the service, what different hurdles did you have to go with to overcome, and how did you overcome that?
So for me, I still default back to number one, which is learning how to grow as an entrepreneur by gaining customers. You know, so oftentimes people worry about the website, they worry about the brochure, they worry about so many other things. Listen, at the end of the day, you need clients. You need people to buy from you. Product, a service that you need a bunch of customers. So I struggled with that for a minute. It took me about 3 years, 4 years to figure out how to replace my military paycheck. But then again, in 2000, so it took me 2 years to figure out, 2001 to figure out how to work for myself. So it took me 2 full years to do that. And then by my 5th year, I started making $100,000 a year, $200,000 a year, and never looked back. But that was initially what I struggled with, is how to obtain customers, how to keep customers, how to not spend too much in radio. And by the way, this is back then. You don't have to do this today, but back then it was radio, TV, direct mail, newspaper ads, magazine articles. Today, you can get a lot away with podcasts and Facebook live videos and Instagram videos and Instagram posts, Facebook posts. You're literally a marketing machine with your cell phone, right? And so the second aspect to that is gaining customers. That's the sales aspect. The second part about that is the marketing aspect, right? How do I market myself? How do I become the person that people want to talk about, and top of mind awareness when it comes to this problem in my sector, that when people have this problem. The other aspect of that I had struggled with was infrastructure. Okay, now I've created a business, now I need to hire the right people to answer the phones, to be customer service, to be my accountant, to keep our books clean legally and with the IRS. Also infrastructure, and I needed to learn how to be a boss, how to hire and fire. You know, sometimes you hire somebody because you got nobody else to do it. You hire and they get the wrong person in the position because you're too lazy to get to more job applicants to interview at your company. I've learned today if I want to hire for